Trial begins. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I just hopped into it. So, have you guys ever watched Succession, the show Succession? You might remember a guy named Greg, cousin Greg, not uncool Greg, but another uncool Greg, who has a statement where he's talking to a girl. He's like, "Yeah, so I'm suing Greenpeace." And it's very funny in the show, but unfortunately, we live in current era America, so it's come true. Those among you who are like news minded may recall something called the Dakota Access Pipeline, right? Which is in Mandan, regionally in Mandan of North Dakota, which is really, really right at the bottom of North Dakota, kind of between North Dakota, South Dakota area, which is also right around Teddy Roosevelt National Park. The Dakota Access Pipeline is for moving crude oil. I don't even think American crude oil. I'm like pretty sure for some reason, it might say it in this. I think it's just to move Canadian oil to American refineries or vice versa, something like that. Doesn't matter really. Either way, the Dakota Access Pipeline is a gigantic line of pipe, and it was going to go through native lands. And they said that they weren't consulted the right way. The Native American people did, and there was a bunch of very, very like aggressive protests and anti-protest measures that were taken. And this was back when we were all still really libbed up. This shit started during the Obama administration, I'm pretty sure. It was forever ago, like pretty much right after I left, I think. So it was also going to be mixed in with like a lot of the racial turmoil and stuff that was the beginning of the end of sort of modern American blue liberalism in my mind. You know, it was the move toward Bernie shit and the beginning of the long and still not over move away from traditional Dem politicians, kind of like the great disgrace, I will call it culturally. So back then people were still like, well, I support their right to protest, but I don't think that they should use violence and blah, 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 blah. And eventually people's attentions waned. Now, more people that you ask are going to be like, no, they should fucking shoot them. Like, oh, they should shoot the natives? No, those people deserve to be there. They should shoot the other fucking people. You know what I mean? We're in a different, we're entering slowly but surely, and I believe irreversibly, a different vibe with the way that people that are even approaching my side of the aisle discuss politics. And there is like really every year less and less room for not even civility at this point, just even like compromise based on old ideas of where the compromise should end, and especially like propriety. Back then, people were like, well, you know, I support them, but they shouldn't be this, I really support them doing nonviolent stuff. And nowadays, people are like, I'm setting fucking Teslas on fire. We're shooting Teslas in the face and setting them on fire throughout the country in multiple places. Unfortunately, Dakota Access Pipeline went through. They finished it. They built the whole fucking thing. So it exists. Now, it is also still a pipeline. So I hope nobody does anything to it, because you could just destroy it and make it not worth any money and destroy like the entire investment structure, because it's just like a really long line of pipe. I hope nobody does anything like that, but you know, probably they got armed guards and sensors and all that kind of good shit. So it is what it is. Either way, you know, we'll see what happens, I guess. Greenpeace, which is an organization that is against basically like, you know, non-green and non-peace. So they want like everyone to chill, and they want America to be, or not America, but the world to be a little greener. There's a bunch of Greenpeace subsections, but basically they've been sued for defamation by big oil in the ballpark of $666 million, which you're not going to hear the quote-unquote free speech crowd talk about at all, because they're going to find some way to sweep for this. As a matter of fact, can you send this to Diorio? Diorio, I know you're a free speech guy. Can you comment on this? It might be outside your wheelhouse. I know you talk a lot about Israel-Palestine. That's like your cultural like focus is like Israel-Palestine. Like you're really smart about that kind of politics and shit. And like the shape and weight of Bo Black's literal penis. I know like those are the two expertise sections you have. But if anyone could reach out to like freedom of speech guy, fair play guy, Nick Diorio, can he weigh in on this? Fucking goofballs. This is an article from The Trial Began, and the award went crazy. So, trial begins a $300 million lawsuit against Greenpeace over North Dakota pipeline protests. I'm mostly bringing this up because this photo is shot by James McPherson, Dick Stomper McPherson, the AP guy. You'll see him down here. You would never, no one even knows to click this. James McPherson is an AP reporter that has been working in North Dakota for forever. If you ask him who I am, he'll say, I have no fucking idea. You might remember my buddy Josh. James McPherson is famous in my personal friend circle for being one of the most quotable human beings in the history of mankind. I won't tell the first part of the story because not that part's not mine to tell. But basically, they were getting ready for a day of talking to people at the State House, and McPherson was talking to my buddy who was a temp reporter for the AP for like about a year there, filling in for the northern part of the state. Bismarck's all the way down the south; it's very far away. And he just looked at him. They're getting ready to walk into the State House, and he goes, "You got your dick stepping shoes on?" And so to this day, anytime my friends, especially because they're still doing it, if you do any reporting on politicians and you're gonna fuck a politician's day up by asking them questions, by holding into account anything, just fuck their day up. You should call it. I'm doing some dick stepping today. I did a moderate amount of dick stepping today. It was a pretty fun day. Like we'll joke about it like that. They were fucking legitimately afraid of that guy. He took these pictures. He's not a photographer, but I mean, really, it's just about access. So he was out there, you know. And I mean, that's North Dakota. This is southern North Dakota too. You can tell how insanely hilly it is, and the existence of a single fucking bridge almost at all. But yeah, this is kind of what it was, hanging out there, and you could see they were fucking ready for these. These are the Native American protesters hanging out, and then they got fucking like literal 7 tons and shit. Dude's got a whole fight with a fucking turret ring on it. We got Humvees out here, squatted up, you know. It was pretty crazy. This is back then. This is updated, by the way, but this is still like from back in the day. So AP will update some of these stories sometimes. I don't know. Either way. Okay, we're gonna read the end part of it because that's gonna be more important to our story, and I kind of want to get through stuff. I just want to show those pictures. This is a different photographer. This is Jack Dura. I think he was an actual AP photo guy because he took a knee. He actually did an upshot. So we have a little framing here, some balance. That's pretty fucking crazy. Greenpeace must pay over $660 million in case over Dakota access protest activity, jury finds. And then, oh yeah, we got the James McPherson's photos again there. So this is from yesterday. Mandan, North Dakota. Is Mandan's not still, where's Mandan? That's not Berthold, is it? Mandan. Maps. Basically just like outside of Bismarck. Oh yeah. This is Mandan's where you can see the traditional like huts and stuff. So you got like this. So like this is Mandan, right? I think that's actually a state park and reservation that's down there. I have not been there. I've only been to Berthold. I've probably been through here, and I've been to Bismarck, but yeah, they've got like this. This is like the old school, like I don't know what the hell to call this, but you make sod buildings to live in if you live on the plains because everything else will blow down. So white people houses are always blowing down and getting ripped up. You build a house like this with the sod huts, fucking, you can be like relatively fucking even like tornado resistant, if not tornado proof. But you know, white people go there, they live in a fucking trailer park. Can't live under the ground. I gotta live above the ground. Yeah, and then in Fort Lincoln, I know this from this shot somewhere right here. I think there's a big lookout on that hill. My buddy went there on vacation. Positive views of Mandan on the rise. Hotel Lewis and Clark. Ba-bum. There you go. Settler Fort. Shoot some Native Americans from there. Tradition. This is what all the fucking little areas in North Dakota look like 5 or 6 actual concrete buildings and then nothing. Trip down memory lane. Click. Environmental group Greenpeace must pay more than $660 million for defamation and other claims brought on by a pipeline company in connection with protests against the Dakota Access Oil Pipeline's construction in North Dakota, a jury found Wednesday. Dallas-based Energy Transfer and subsidiary Dakota Access had accused Netherlands-based Greenpeace International, Greenpeace USA, and funding arm Greenpeace Fund Incorporated of defamation, trespass, nuisance, civil conspiracy, and other acts. I don't know. That sounds like fucking anti-First Amendment shit. Greenpeace USA was found liable for all counts, while the others were found liable for some. The damages owed will be spread out in different amounts over 3 entities. The cool thing about America right now is we keep firing all the people that go collect shit. So if you just don't pay anyone and you just leave, you can run out on the check in America right now, like pretty casually. Bro, what the fuck, AP? Greenpeace said earlier that a large award to the pipeline company would threaten to bankrupt the organization following the 9-person jury's verdict. What the fuck? Greenpeace's senior legal advisor said the group's work is never going to stop. This is the really important message today, and we're just walking out and we're going to get together and figure out what the next steps are. Deepa Padmanabha told reporters outside the courthouse. The organization later said it plans to appeal the decision. Fight against Big Oil is not okay. The appeal might go through, honestly. Because like North Dakota's fucking crazy right wing. Even when I was up there, they're still in an average political, like averaged out, they're still considerably more right wing than like Trump. MAGA based bog standard MAGA people. Like bog standard MAGA, not like your most extreme online internet people. They're fucking nuts in North Dakota because they peel off all the rest of the normal people because there's nowhere else. It's not like rural areas in a lot of other places. North Dakota specifically is like notorious regionally, like the North Dakota Plains area, for being in psychotically right wing. Like they had a Nazi fucking town there. I'm not even kidding. Like of 8 fucking families, one of whom was black. The Nazi guy was just like got 2 other people. Was like, we're gonna make this officially Nazi town, no matter what Phil says. You guys are racist. You know, like if you go over to fucking even into Montana and shit, they call like the other side of the state that's too close to fucking North Dakota, like West Montana or West Dakota or some shit like that. It's fucking it's nuts in that specific region. Even people that are like conservative from other areas would be like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, I am a conservative. Like, you're not a conservative. You don't believe in conservative values. Like, I don't think you believe. What are you talking about? Like, we need to repeal the Constitution because it is allowing people to sell babies to aliens. Like, what in the fuck is going on out here? Fargo. Fargo's like lib as fuck too. Fargo's not North Dakota at all. It's basically Minnesota. It's basically like Twin Cities, you know? I think. Fight against Big Oil is not over. Damages total nearly $666.9 million. They should just use that. They should just use the 660 mil. That's just a good number. The jury found probably AP is so fucking insanely cucked. They have no sense of humor. They will take a joke like that out. They'll sense it. They'll sense humor or joy, and they'll delete it from the story. Nearly $404 million, while Greenpeace Fund Incorporated and Greenpeace International pay roughly $131 million. God damn. Energy Transfer called Wednesday's verdict a win for Americans who understand the difference between the right to free speech and breaking the law. God damn. They're just trying to shut you down. Understand, it's going to be more like this. We are pleased that Greenpeace has been held accountable for their actions against us. This win is really for the people of Mandan and throughout North Dakota who had to live through the daily harassment and disruptions caused by the protesters who were funded and trained by Greenpeace, the company said in a statement. The company previously said that the court lawsuit was about Greenpeace not following the law, not free speech. In a statement, Energy Transfer, Trey Cox said, this verdict clearly conveys that when this right to peacefully protest is abused in a lawless and exploitative manner, such actions will be held accountable. The case reaches back to protests in 2016 and 2017 against the Dakota Access Pipeline and its Missouri River crossing upstream of the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe's reservation. For years, the tribe has opposed the line as a risk to its water supply. Which they should, because the fucking pipelines crack all the time and they poison the shit out of your water. They're not building it through a fucking Native American place because it's the most convenient. It's because it's probably where the least amount of white people are. I'm not even fucking with you. Like, they fucking treat Native American people like crazy bad up there. They fuck them over all the time. It's like one of the biggest. Have you guys ever watched White Lotus? There's a guy who's a bad guy in the show, right? And it is probably not obvious to some people because he says he works for the BLM, which is the Bureau of Land Management. And for a lot of people, you'll hear that and you'll go, oh, okay. But everyone who knows will immediately go like, you retired working with the Bureau of Land Management? Like, this guy's got to be a piece of shit, right? Like, there's people who do and people who don't. And they'll hear he's a Bureau of Land Management guy. Okay. Like, they up there, that U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the some other thing. Fucking hate them, bro. Hate them. The Native Americans do. The white people like them. White people love them because they fucking kick all the Native Americans out, or they just flood the Native American land. Like Lake Sakakawea, named for Sacagawea. Lewis and Clark that's all they got up there. They got Teddy Roosevelt and Lewis and Clark. And so they named the big lake after Sacagawea. You know how they made the lake? They fucking flooded Old Town, whatever it was called. I think it was actually Berthold, the Native American village that was there, where they had a bunch of like cattle and good grazing land and stuff, and it happened to be low. There's a bunch of places you could have flooded, and they flooded that one, and they flooded them out. Now they have Newtown, which is the new town they had to build because they flooded the old one. Fucking BLM, Bureau of Land Management motherfuckers. Just destroyed all their shit. They do it all the fucking time, man. Just completely fucked. We have sovereignty. Okay, buddy, but let me tell you this real quick. No, you don't. And we've also bribed the guy that's in charge of you. Fuck. Over and over again. During opening statements, he alleged Greenpeace paid outsiders to come into the area and protest, sent blockade supplies, organized or led protester trainings, and made untrue statements about the project to stop it. This shit should all be legal. Attorneys for the Greenpeace entities said that there was no evidence to the claims, and Greenpeace employees had little or no involvement in the protests, and the organizations had nothing to do with energy transfers, delays in construction, or refinancing. The multi-state pipeline train spent about 5% of the United States daily oil production, but not from North Dakota, from like all the way down to like Texas or Oklahoma or some shit. It started transporting oil in mid-2017. So basically they're like, yeah, if you try to help somebody protest, I don't care if they did do it. If they can't even prove it, they can't prove it. And understand, North Dakota juries are stupid as fuck. It's North Dakota people, with all due respect. I know I say to be nice. North Dakota people specifically drive me up the fucking wall because I've lived amongst them and I've talked to them. Absolute drive me fucking crazy, okay? And they drive their kids crazy too. Before you start commenting, okay, I love mine, I stay here. Yeah, everyone knows. And that's why your fucking granddaughter doesn't visit anymore, Carl. Fucking Jesus Christ. Back and forth from Phoenix every year. Snowbirds, motherfuckers. Dude, I swear to God. Hateful like you wouldn't believe up there. Nuts at times. And I'm telling you, man, I live in Kentucky. I talk to Kentucky motherfuckers that are all over the spectrum, red as fuck. Kentucky motherfuckers will not offer to say the N-word in as goofy a fucking accent as well as those people will. You hear some wild shit in North Dakota. They fucking talk, hey, I just don't like that coming up here. I'm like, what in the? We're at a Fuddruckers, bro. Why did you just say that? Do you are you trying to fight somebody and making sure that everyone here is racist too? Like, what the fuck? What is this Klan shit? I thought you guys didn't have that. I thought it ended at like Indiana and then went south. I thought that was a Mississippi River this way thing. You guys had your own shit or something. You imported it and made it worse? How the fuck did you do that? God damn. Hope you enjoyed your time on the Westside.